Okay, this is how you turn any video you've made into 5 LinkedIn posts with infographics, carousels, and images. You're going to go to Google Drive, going to go to Google Docs, make a blank document. Go to Loom, grab the transcript from your video. I'm going to copy this, paste it in. I'm going to name it the date, 1301 PPC ad agent. That was what the video was about. All right, now that's going to be saved in your Google Drive under that. That's going to be what it's called. I'm going to open N8N. I'm going to run this workflow. Okay, I'm going to run this entire workflow right now, and so you guys can see it go. I'm going to go back to Google Drive and I'm going to tell you what's happening. So I needed a way to just get the Loom video that I would make, and you can also use YouTube videos. So if I go to LinkedIn, if I go to Loom and I click on this thing, I can go find a YouTube video I filmed. I filmed one today, a long one, like 1 hour and something. Yeah, here it is, 1 hour, 3 minutes. Click on that, and you can grab the transcript from this thing, copy it, paste it in this thing, so you don't have to use the 5 minute Loom. But if you have a 5 minute Loom video, it's gonna work just fine as well. Okay, so as you can see, this drive is now currently being populated with a bunch of different stuff. You can see we have image 3, carousel 1, post 1. You can rename this to be whatever you want. I went ahead with just with the default basic names. So for example, post 3 goes with image 3, post 1 will go with carousel 1. You'd rename these to post 2 will go with carousel 2. But basically, this is all fully based on the transcript of the Loom. So if we look at the Loom transcript, it was all about a PPC ad agent, right? That was the post that I made it about that, and you can go watch it. It was yesterday's. And now I have an entire carousel here. Sorry, I have a carousel here based completely on the transcript. Okay, the Wi-Fi is a little bit slow. It's loading a little bit slowly, but there it is. I have a hook image here accompanying a well-written post. Feel free to reach out if you want me to share the system or set. Like this is a full LinkedIn post right here. We have another image here. Stop manual tweaking. Hundreds of variations automatically. Sure, that's nice as well. You can really pick and choose what you want it to do because it works fully by your own description. So you can describe the kind of stuff you want the model to output. So if you wanted it to give you different kind of image, you would go with that. So here we have image 4. It's going to connect to post 4. Post 4 is going to be the post we would use for this image. And so on and so forth. So this one will give us 5 different LinkedIn posts, right? We have carousel 1 to go with post 1, the other carousel 1 with the other post 1, image 3 and post 3, image 4, post 4. I'm waiting on one more because as far as I know, there should be 5. All right, so here we have image 5, 100 plus ad variations in 1 hour, stop guessing, create, scale faster, and whatnot. That's it. There you have it. So instead of you taking taking 5 minutes to film a loom, in actuality, you'll take 5 minutes to film a loom and end up with 5 other things that you can post on LinkedIn. Now I can go ahead and I can post this LinkedIn text with this carousel. I can post this carousel, which is the other carousel. I didn't show you this one, but this is just another version of a carousel right here. One technical video breakdown and has my contact information. A post for that, and you have all of this. So 5 minute loom into 5 posts. You can do into 10, into 1,000. You could have different kinds of descriptions for all the stuff. Like let's look at the agent here. This is the workflow. If you ever want to build it for yourself, I'll attach the JSON there. I'll attach the link to the YouTube video or the Loom where I actually explain the entire system. But it goes to this entire thing. We have the image generation model here. So from this one, we said warm color palette, grid-based layout with intentional margins, logo as main hook, 2 to 5 words. And in this image model, we said something different, right? We gave it more to focus on asymmetric, stark black. I think you remember what that was. And this one, we told it just to follow a very clean and minimal, no colors on the page, just the words, which is exactly what we got, I think, in this one here. So you can just describe the images you want differently to these 5, and then take this and copy it and paste it 5 more times and end up with an entire system that goes from a 5 minute loom into 30 different posts. You can do it however you want. But yeah, that's the system. Hope you like it. And I've attached the JSON and the Loom for a full. The Loom is a full tutorial, and the JSON you can just download it and just fill in the stuff and then use it yourself. Hello, welcome. So today we're gonna be building something that I'm gonna use a lot in the future, and someone reached out to me, someone who's also on YouTube who I have on LinkedIn, and they were asking me if there was a way that we could build a system that would just take a YouTube transcript, whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 50 minutes, and split it into 5 different LinkedIn posts in different versions with images, with a carousel, with just text, whatever. And I was like, that's a pretty useful system. So that's what we're going to build today. So the way we're going to go about this is I'm going to just do it live. I've not planned it. I've not scripted it. I don't know anything really right now. I'm sitting here on this blank N8N canvas, and we're going to figure out a way to take YouTube video scripts or Loom video scripts and turn them into LinkedIn posts that can be posted. So a good thing is that yesterday I obviously filmed a video, and I have that video here, a 46-minute video, and Loom gives you the transcript, which is what we need. Now, if you don't want to do it this way, go to Appify. Okay, now if I've talked about Appify in the past, they're great, and you get free $5 with Appify. Like when you start, you get a free $5 every month to spend. So I go to console. This is in case you're not using Loom. You want to do it, you can still build it the same way without having to use Loom. And all you're gonna do here is I'm gonna show you here. You see, you get this $5 for free on Appify. But now, for example, what we want to do is we're gonna go to Actors, and I'm gonna go to Store, and here I'm gonna search for YouTube transcript. And you can see there's so many of them, but basically you just put the link into the YouTube video and you get the transcript. So you can do it this way. If you have Loom, it's easier though. But if you are using somebody else's YouTube videos to as inspiration for your posts, you could do it this way. You just put the link in and it gets you the transcript. I'll make a video on how to do this. But for now, assuming you're using Loom, we're gonna figure out a way to do this from literally from scratch. Okay. So I'm gonna start by schedule every day, or since there is no Loom native node, we're gonna just have it happen whenever we dictate. So I usually post at the same time every night, so we could have this running at, let's say, 10 p.m. because I usually upload by 9 p.m. So we can just have it set like this. But for now, since we're gonna be working, I'm gonna just put on a manual trigger so I can keep testing as it goes. Okay, so we want to go from scripts to posts, right? Which means we obviously need to use an LLM, and it means that we obviously need to template out the posts, and we obviously gonna need a writing agent to actually write the post, and we need a different one to make the carousels. Okay, so here's how we can do this. We can start by connecting it to Google Drive. How about that? So this is my YouTube, one of my YouTube folders, right? And this is for everything I posted yesterday, right? It has the make.com, the N8N flows that I posted in the video, and it has the actual documentation guide. So now what I want is that every time I come here and I make a new Google Doc, a blank document. Okay, I'm not gonna do it there. We'll just go here. I'll make a new folder and I'll call it transcripts. All right, so now here, a new Google Doc, blank document, and we'll just call this the date that the date that I filmed, which was 12th of January, and it was PPC add agent. Okay, so what we can do is every time I create a document like this, so every time that a document gets created in here, we want it to download the document and run the flow. Now there's no transcript in here right now, so I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna just get this 3-minute Loom one, right? Because if I have to do this entire YouTube one, if it's working for the Loom one, it'll work for the YouTube one, so we can do that one after. So for now, I'm gonna just copy this transcript. I'm gonna go to the document and I'm gonna paste it in. Okay, so here we have literally the transcript, and now the transcript is here. And so on click, I'm gonna go to Google Drive. I want this to run it's gonna run on a schedule, and I want it to only pull today's transcript, right? So the date, right? The date. And so, okay, for the sake of this, I'm just gonna rename this to 1301. Okay, just for the sake of today, because we're gonna have it pull it like that. So we'll go for search files and folders, and we know the search query. I'm gonna go to expression, and I'm gonna put it here in JSON. I'm gonna put now.format, and the format that we had just now was 13/01. So that's gonna be 13 is the day, and we had it in the format like this, slash the month. I think it's capital M. Yes, sir. There we go. Okay, so you can see 1301, return all. Now, there's only really going to be one a day. But if you had multiple a day, you keep your limit at 50, it doesn't matter. Because now if I execute this step, okay, so we've got all of these. And, oh, there's a reason for that, I'm sorry. What we actually want to do is add a filter folder. And the folder we're going to be checking is not the root folder. We'll do by ID, and I'm gonna be checking my YouTube transcripts folder, which is this one. So I'll just copy this 1R whatever, that's the ID. Remove this and paste this there. And now if I execute this, we only have one, which is perfect because we only needed one, right? Which is the one transcript that's in there. And so now you can see that if I go ahead and I enter this and I make a new Google Doc, a blank document, and let's say I take the video that I made on the 11th, which was this AI sales agent, and okay, I'm thinking what we can do is let's just go ahead and go through with the YouTube transcript, right? Because the Loom video is already, for me personally, I already posted on LinkedIn, right? By the time it's there, it's already on LinkedIn. So I'm gonna go ahead and just paste in this long, really long, this is 12 pages, and it's a transcript, right? Okay, so we'll go with this as the PPC ad agent video. Now that's because I make long videos, so I might as well just get it started going the right way. So if I run this again, it's still gonna get the same folder, but the contents are gonna be different. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna download this. So I'm gonna go to Drive. I'm gonna look for download file. All right, and we'll download it by the ID and just drag this ID into there. And if I execute the step, here it is. Okay, perfect. We have this. Now, this is what we're gonna have to feed into an LLM and tell it to come up with a post for us. So there's two things I'm thinking. One is that we want to have some of them, if we're going to do 5 posts per script, then we're going to have some of them with a carousel. Some of them will be plain text. Let's go for 2 carousels, one with an image and one just be a plain text post. That, I mean, you can obviously split it however you want to split it, but that's just, I think that's the way that I'll split it. So we'll have one of them. We'll go here. I'm gonna use Gemini, and I'm gonna go with, okay, actually, no, we should do, we should use an LLM chain. Okay, the basic LLM chain. So we're gonna have this one here, and I'm gonna just call it, I'm gonna duplicate this, all right, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So we're gonna have 2 here. This is 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And we'll just kind of arrange it so that it all kind of at the thing right under the plus model just to keep it a bit neat. Okay, so this is gonna be text with carousel. This is also gonna be text with carousel 2, text with image. This is gonna be text with image 2, and this is just gonna be a text post. All right, so we're gonna need to connect a LLM to these. That's in the model section. So I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna use Gemini's chat model. I honestly think if you have access to Claude, use Claude because Sonnet 4 is a very, very good writing agent. So I'm gonna use this one here. 2.5 Flash is not a problem. That's okay. And I'm gonna just rename this to Gemini 2.5 Flash. Okay, so we have this here as our how we're gonna be having an LLM, and I'm gonna use this one for these two. This will be fun to see what the difference is in the outputs that we get. So I'm just gonna put it there. And so for all of these, I'm just gonna go ahead and connect a model. I think here for text with image, we can go ahead and see what OpenAI will do. 4.1 mini, that's fine. I'll go ahead and use it for this one as well. And here I'm gonna go back to Gemini, but I'm gonna use the 3.0. I'm gonna use the Gemini 3 Pro preview. Okay, so we have this now with all 5 of the models that we're gonna be using in this. Cool. Here's something we're gonna want to do is when we're gonna have a carousel, we're gonna need to do a text replacement, number one. And number two, we need the model to output the post in text and then all of the text replacements as well. So the way we're going to do that is, and I'm going to require specific output format, and I'm going to connect a structured output parser here. And I think we'll need to do this for all of them except the text one. This text one we don't really need an output parser for. And this I'm gonna just rename it to Gemini 3 Pro. Gemini 3 Pro. Yeah, that's good. No, these things really annoy me when they're overlapping. Just move it like that. All right. Okay. So now we need to get an output parser here because we don't want this to just output only the the post. We also need it to output other stuff. And the other thing is it can't read what's in this. This is a binary data file. It can't read that. So we're gonna need to convert this from binary to something else. So we're gonna go to do a extract from file. So we'll just do extract the contents. Is the text file? Yeah, no. No. That's not how it's gonna be either. So let's go ahead and figure out this bit here, because that's getting a docs. Okay, it's getting a docs. And so we need to do um we need to do a conversion. We need to convert this to PDF, right? We need to convert it to PDF. And here, if I just go to okay. So apparently we need to use an API, but I have an idea and I wanna just see if this works. I'm gonna go to Gemini, I'm gonna go to Pro, and I'm gonna say, can you write a code node for n8n that will take a docs file in the form data and output the text from the docs file. Work. Obviously, it would be easier if we just paste the transcript directly in to this, but the idea is you want it to be as easy as possible. So we should be able just to, do it in here. So what if we do a markdown to HTML? Markdown to HTML, and here we'll put in data. What if that would work? I don't even think it's running. PPC add agent. Okay, so it's not actually getting the actual text. It's not actually getting the proper text. It's just giving us this. Okay. Wonder if we can use the convert API. No. Hmm. No, I wonder if we try and just convert Google Docs into HTML. Text HTML. Shit, that actually worked. So now we have HTML, which means I can now actually connect a HTML to, I can actually just now use the markdown node here. This is in data. I wonder, okay. So let's just go ahead and run this as convert it to PDF and then PDF extract from PDF. Now if I execute this and I go to table, okay, you can see the text is there. So we've got it. Awesome. We've got the text. Sometimes when debugging stuff like this, you just got to learn about, the nodes. The nodes, always the nodes. Okay, cool. So we have the text. Now, what exactly are we going to do with the text? So we'll test this out. Let's test it out with the first one here. And I'm going to say that you are a LinkedIn content creator for an entrepreneur. What entrepreneur? Okay. You will get a transcript and you'll get a transcript and your job is to write a single LinkedIn post based on the transcript as well as a carousel to accompany the post. Okay. Now, I'm gonna add another prompt and we're gonna give it example LinkedIn post. Okay, and I'm gonna go to my LinkedIn page and I'm just gonna grab a post. I'm gonna just grab a post that I've written in the past. Ideally, I just grab a well-performing one actually. So if I go to this, your email addresses. That's weird. Okay, anyways, let's look at just the top performing posts ever. Let's look at the past 90 days. So I'll go ahead and I'll take this as a sample prompt. I mean, as a sample LinkedIn post. Actually, since I'm going to be doing it with an infographic, I should probably post one that has an infographic, right? Do any of these have an infographic? No. Any of these have an infographic? Well, my infographics apparently don't perform that well. Anyways, let's just take one from the straight up, just like take one from the thing. Show all posts. As you can see, experimenting a lot. Okay, this is one. This has an infographic with it. Okay, so we'll use this as example LinkedIn post. And what we'll do is we'll paste it in this sort of JSON style. So we'll do post like this, and then we'll go like that. Okay. So make sure you put this as well, that little curly brace over there. Okay, so that's an example of a post, and now we'll give it an example of a infographic of a carousel, how to output the carousel information. Okay, so we're gonna actually, I feel like if I make this an expression, it's easier to look at. Okay, and the same thing goes here. I'll just make it an expression. It's just easier to look at. So I'll go here. I'm gonna put the second one here, and I'll say this is gonna be the carousel. But the carousel is going to be an object, right? Because we want it to output the in a structure. So we'll come back to that. Let's go ahead and design the actual carousel first. Now I have quite a few, but once you see how to do it, it's really easy to do. So I'll show you right now what one looks like. If I just go to my LinkedIn carousels. All right, this is carousel 1. So you see, you pretty much just take whatever template it is you want to work with, right? So you take whatever template you want to work with, and you take out the text and you write in this variable name. So this one, this one, this one, as you can see, we have also the body down there, and that's what you want to do. And I have quite a few of these, that you can always use. I will put this one, and I'll put this one as well in the description, or actually I'll put them in the document file that's attached in the description, so you can find them there. And you can just copy these because these already have everything. That's You see how it's already gotten all the variable names in there. So if we can just use this one for example. All right, so like I said, you guys can find these in the document attached to the video, so you can get them there. So all we're going to do now is I'm going to go here and I'm going to give it an example output for this thing. So I've already written one which matches that thing. So you see we have title slide, slide 1 title, slide title slide, slide 1 title, slide 1 body, slide 1 body, slide 2 title, slide 2 body, slide 3 title, and so on and so forth. So that's an example output for it to have of that, and we have an example output for the post as well. So that's an example output for it to have right here, and we also have an example output here of the post. So let me just example output, just like that. I can make it fixed though, now that we've seen it and you understand how it works. So we have this. So this thing should give us these two things, but to make sure we get that, we're going to use a structured output parser. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you now. We have this, right? So we have this output, this example output. What we're gonna do is, okay, I seem to have lost the output parser. Structured output parser based on schema. So this schema is not gonna work. Now I'm gonna paste in a new schema here. I'll explain to you right now what this is simply, and then obviously all be in the attached document, so you can get it from there. These are the things that we want from the LLM. We want the post, we need the carousel. Okay, so you can see properties, we'll start here, post, type, it's going to be a string, and a little brief description of what it is. And we have this going all the way down. And now part of the required is going to be post. We need the post. It's a requirement. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put that here, and like always, make sure to save. Now we need to think about what input this is gonna get. Like, where is the transcript gonna be? So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go to user, and I'm gonna go to text, and I'm gonna say transcript. All right, transcript, and I'm gonna paste in this text right here. So it's long, obviously, because it's a whole transcript. So this is gonna be very taxing in terms of tokens. Now, because of that, I've thought of a different way we can do it to save money, which is that if we simply have the text agent write the post, and then we only feed the post into these things, right? Because they're all gonna get the whole transcript, which means that this is gonna be very, very, very expensive in terms of tokens. But that's an idea. Let's run it now and let's have a look at what we get. Let's move these away from now and just see what this one gives us. Okay, so if I execute this step, we already have an error. System message should be the first one. System message should be the first one. It is the first one. Okay, let's see what the AI says about that. You can't change this to be the system message. Within the messages section, yes, within the messages section, it is the first one. Sometimes templates or examples provide documentation can guide you on the correct structure. Okay, that really wasn't of much help. Source for prompt. System message should text with carousel. System message should be the first one. System message should be the first one. Okay. Okay, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, what's happening here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this system message from here. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna just simply put the transcript here, turn this into an expression so that it gets the thing, and hope that that makes a difference. And this, system message should be the first one, but I can't. Well, I suppose we can just leave it empty, and I honestly don't think that will work. To be honest, I don't think that will work. It might just tell us that it can't be empty, but let's see if that changes anything. Okay, the system message is the first message. The user is coming after that, so what's the problem? Okay, I wonder if it's to do with the chat model. I don't think it is, but let's just go ahead and add a OpenAI chat model. We can use 4.1 mini, that's fine. See if that changes anything. Okay, that seems to have worked. But I wonder, model output doesn't fit the required format. Yeah, because 4.1 isn't really that good at following structured JSON. Let's switch to Gemini 5 mini. If this doesn't work, we'll try 3 Pro on Gemini. In the meantime, sure that the schema is correct. Doesn't match the required format. Okay, which means there's an issue with the schema in this. Okay, I'll go Gemini here. Is there a problem with this schema? Paste that there. And we're going to say it is for this system prompt. And now I'm just going to go here. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get the copy this here. And we're going to copy this as the example output. And we're going to copy this as the example output. Is there a problem with this schema? Give it the whole schema, give it the entire system message, and let's see what it says. Because it might make us just replace the entire schema. But also, while that runs, we're going to switch this to 3 Pro and see if that makes any difference at all. Okay, so that one keeps telling us about the system message being an error. I don't understand why that is though. Anyways, the critical error. Slide 1 big, slide 2 header. Slide 1 big. Oh, I see the problem. This is a good learning lesson actually. So if we look at the example output and we have slide 3 body, slide 4 title, slide 4 body, slide 5 title, when we write this JSON schema here, it needs to match that. It doesn't match that. We have slide 1 big, slide 1 small. Instead of this being slide 1 title and slide 1 body, it says slide 1 big and slide 1 small. So I'm going to fix that. It has to match title and body, not big and small. If you have big and small here, then you got to have big and small in the example output. Okay, so I fixed it. Now it matches. I'm going to add again here one of the requirements is we want a post with it. Okay, so now we have slide 1 title. We have title slide, which if we look at this, we have title slide and slide 1 title. So it perfectly matches that. And I'm going to connect this back into this model here. And now let's see if this works. So feeding in the entire transcript might not be the best thing economically because of how expensive it is. If we're going to feed a transcript this large every single day into 5 different LLMs, it's going to be, well, pretty pricey. So we can figure out a way of doing that better. And we still get an error. Model output doesn't match the required format. Example output, title slide. What did this thing output? Post, title slide, slide 1, slide 2, slide 4, slide 7, title, slide 1, body. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this. Okay. And I want to look at it compared to this, right? Because it looks like it matches this JSON schema. Okay, I think I see the problem. I mean, look at the output of this LLM here. This is the input. The output is like this, but this schema wants it to be a flattened structure, which means I actually need to just fix this. If I fix the schema by putting the making the structure flat. And now if I run, this is really costing so much money. But if it works, then we can always figure out a way to reduce the cost. And I think one way we can do it is by having a single post agent to post the whole thing. I mean, to write the post and then have every other agent write their version of the post. This video is getting pretty long now. It's already like 40 minutes in. So what I'll do now is I'll show you how to use text replacement to swap out the... Dude, what is the problem? I don't know. Let's ask Gemini. This is this should I don't understand why this won't work. System message. It is, it's the first one. It's literally the first one. It's the first one. Okay, I'll make this I wonder if that changes anything. Okay, so what if I make this AI and I make this the AI and I make this the user message? Oh, finally. All right, post and the text. Thank God we have it all. Awesome. Now, what we're gonna do is use, so if you're gonna use Gemini, use this is use 3 Pro, okay? And arrange the messages the way I did. I'll show you again so you can see. AI with the example, AI with the example, user with the actual instruction and the transcript. All right. So now we get this. And now what do we do? What do we want to do with this? Well, we want it to come in and we want it to actually fill up this entire carousel that we have here. This is very easy to do. We're just going to go here, press this, type slides, and we're going to do replace text in a presentation. So we're going to copy the ID, the presentation ID, and we're going to replace all the text in it. But we don't want to replace the text in this one because this is the one that's going to be used as a template. So we want to make a copy of this one first and then replace the text. So let's go ahead and make a copy of this file we'll put that as a step. The next step in this will be to open Google Drive and copy a file. And I'm going to copy this file, which has the ID here, one zip until the next backslash. So I'll go here, I'll do by ID, I'll paste that in, and we'll just call it that, okay? and let's get rid of this for now. Now, this will make a copy in my drive of this file. So I'm gonna pin this output here. I'm gonna run this. Which is supposed to copy a file, and it's made a copy of the file. So if I open my drive now, this is such a long process. You can see build an infinite ad generator is there, and it is still the template, right? Because we just made a copy of it. So the next thing we're gonna do now is use the replace text from Google Slides. Replace text in a presentation. Presentation ID is the ID of the copied file. Now, here's how we're gonna do it. Okay. Error fetching from Google Slides. Okay, I think this should still work. So if I look here, this is the 1LZ, which is the same as this, okay? So we'll search for title slide. That'll be this. Search for title slide. Fixed. And we'll replace it with title slide. Okay. If I execute this step, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and refresh my credentials so you guys can see how to do it. You press on this, press sign in with Google, pick the email account connected to the drive. So for me, that would be this one. Continue, select all, continue. Credentials. Okay. That worked. So execute the step. And now you can see where I had title slide, I now have build the infinite ad generator. But the rest we have to still put in. Like, so slide one title, I go here, I'm gonna add text, select, okay, you know what, just completely ignore that. We're gonna search for slide one title, right? Search for this text, this exact text, and replace it with slide one title. Now we'll add text, we'll search for slide 2 body and replace it with slide 2 body. Okay, so I'm gonna actually have to just copy these one by one. Slide 2 title. Slide 2 title and replace it with slide 2 title. And then we're gonna go on and on until the end. So I'm gonna pause it here. Okay, so now I've dragged and dropped all of those things into here. And so now we still have this entire thing which has nothing in it. But because now it's like this, if I run this, replaces all the text. I'm going to press save. And that I'm going to come here. And you can see, stop starting from scratch, the automation tech stack, analyze the winning layout, inject your brand DNA, enforce strict output rule, loop of creation, review, and launch, comment as you get the full end workflow and blueprint. Look at that, an entire carousel created. Now, it might have taken us 1 hour to set up that one thing, right? This one thing here. But when you have it up and running, you never have to really worry about anything like that. Okay? So now we're going to go ahead and we can connect up the rest of these. So for example, text with carousel 2. All I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these two nodes here. Matter of fact, I'm going to copy these 3 nodes Okay, we don't need these two. And all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect this to here. I'm gonna come here. And now I'm gonna just change this. I want to use this Google slide. Okay, so we'll grab this until edit, copy that, come here, by ID, paste in this new ID. I'm gonna unpin this dot that because that's not right. All right, we need this to be like this, and now replace text is gonna occur for this one. But obviously, you see slide one big is not the same as slide one title. So I'll go here. I will replace all of this slide 4 title, slide 4 body with the one that matches this. So we'll have slide 1 big instead of slide 1 title. And then I'll do that same process here in the schema. Okay? So as you can see, I've gone ahead and I've just replaced all. I've used slide 1 big and slide 1 small. Slide 2 header, slide 2 body, slide 2 header, slide 2 body. So pretty much just to go ahead and match the other one. And now we want to also include the post property because that's going to be, as we saw in this schema, important part, and we want the model to output just the post alongside the thing. Okay, so the next thing, as you remember, what we're going to have to do is we can keep the post output the same, but the example output for the slide, this is going to have to change as well, right? We're going to have to change title, slide, and everything. So let's change. All right, so I've gone ahead and I've changed all of that as well, and now it should be fine and should be able to go ahead and create for us a copy of that slide. Okay, and that way we'll have two. Now what I'll do is I'll go over the image generation one really quickly so you guys can see how that looks. So when we want to have text with image, yeah, when we want to have text with image like this one here, text with image, let's go here, connect this here. Here we can define below, and I'm gonna say the same thing as write a LinkedIn post based on the transcript and also an image description to accompany the post. Okay, now this is a very lousy prompt, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab a better prompt from another workflow that I have, which is this one, because we wanted to, let's get like a better image than this one. So I'm gonna just grab a different one. So we're gonna say write a LinkedIn post based on the transcript, and here I'll say example output. Let's add a prompt here as a system prompt, and let's grab the example output. So here that's an example output. So I'm gonna just delete this for a second. And here I have a generate image, which is gonna take in the actual LinkedIn post, which is gonna be the output from this model here. So I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna run this one. Perfect. We got an output, which is the post right here. I'm gonna say require specific output format, and I'm gonna attach another structured output parser. We'll define this by schema, and honestly, this is fine because the only thing we're gonna have here is a post, right? So properties is just gonna be post, and then here a description is gonna be the actual LinkedIn post, just like that. We don't need any of this or this, the actual LinkedIn post. Okay, so if I run this now, type, object, properties. Then we need to add the required section. Post is type string. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna copy this one, and we're just gonna go into the output parser here. I'm gonna paste it here. Required, the only thing this requires is post, so we can get rid of all of these. And write post. Okay, and all of these as well, we do not need it. They can all go. We have this for this. Wait, no. We have to put another one, don't we? I mean, think about it. If we have type and we have description and we have this, and this is part of properties, which means a comma needs to go here. Yeah, okay, that'll work. I hope. Nope. Okay, so we've now hooked up the image generation model, and that's by just using Gemini's 3 Pro preview, which is gonna go ahead and create an image for us based on the post. So the post gave us transformers in 2000 high quality ad creatives. All right, we have all this. Let's get the image, and then we will connect this to LinkedIn. Here, all you're gonna do is set up a LinkedIn account. I am posting as a person, not as an organization. The image is this. Generate 1,000 ads with one click. Automate custom creative generation at scale for your. Okay, so that's a very good image, honestly. For the text, we'll go to the schema, go text with image, and pull this text into there. And now, if I execute this final step here, we get a tick. So if I open my LinkedIn, oh, it's already here. If I open my LinkedIn and I reload my posts, well, look at that. Okay, this seems to be AI will use all of this image. Yeah, so here we have it. We've posted it. We've got the text there as well. So now you can go ahead and you can set up another version of this. So we can delete these three, which is great. We can delete these three things. we can copy this, paste it again, and paste it one more time. All right, just like as it is, and connect this to here, and connect this to here. And we have this connected to here, and this connected to here. Now, basically, one click, and we will end up with five pieces of LinkedIn performance, high-performing LinkedIn, straight from the transcript. Okay. Now, the other thing is with the carousels is you can't actually post these directly using this LinkedIn node because they contain documents and not images. So these you can review them before you post them and then post them yourselves because you might also want to look at them. It's a slide, so there might be information you don't want that ends up being in there. So you can simply add a Gmail node here, and we can go for send a message. Send a message to myself saying LinkedIn carousel ready, and the message we'll put is your carousel is in the drive. Okay, so we can simply just have this, and now whenever it finishes, it will email me and I can double check the carousel. So that's pretty much how you do it. We've also got a schedule trigger here, so I can have this run every day at 10 p.m. It will go into my drive, it'll search for today's post, and it will make these 5 posts about it. Now, I think a better way to do this, honestly, would just be to have it also not auto post here because you always want to verify and make sure that everything is, post worthy before you post it. So we're going to go to merge and we're going to just select this as 5 and connect these all as merge nodes into this one. And this way it will wait for them all to finish. And at the end of this, once they have all finished, oh, sorry, that should be this main one here, not from the error branch. These we don't even need them. Get rid of these. And then we can have it send an email saying that everything is done, so we can check everything before we post it and upload it. Okay, there you have it. It's a very long video. I know it's a very long build and it's not that complicated really, but it's because we had a lot of debugging to do, and I took you guys through the entire thought process of how we actually go about debugging just using Gemini Pro. It's a great one, or use Claude. And yeah, so if you want to take a single transcript from a video and turn it into 5 posts, this is how I would recommend you go about it using N8N. I'll obviously now do this for myself, so if you're on my LinkedIn, you're going to see 5 posts about this video. I'm going to put that transcript as the actual 1301. This is for the 12th. I'll make another one there. Yeah, okay. Have a nice one, and I hope you guys enjoy the build. See you.